All right, and we are live with another WWE Raw review on this October 16. I'm your host, Tony, with my co host, Dave the Bizarre One. How are you tonight, Dave?
I'm good.
All right, well, let's just jump right into tonight's WWE Raw, which some people hated, some people liked, some people thought it was okay. It was mixed between three things, I think, tonight. But let's just jump right into it. We had Seth Rollins comes down to the ring. He grabs the mic and asks everyone. Everyone thought what Dean did to him last Monday was funny. He says that what happens when you disrespect. Sorry, he showed a clip of what happened to him, and then showed a clip of what he did to Cena and Ambrose. He says that's what happens when you disrespect him. He says that no one embarrasses Seth Rollins. Noble and bringing down to the ring, telling Rollins that he has to get out of the ring, pretty much saying that he's a marked man and that he needs to get back to the locker room. Cena then runs down to the ring and chases Rollins out of the ring, which then led to Rollins being into the crowd. I don't know what made him stay in the crowd. It kind of made it predictable that Ambrose was going to end up showing. I liked how he set it up, which Ambrose comes from behind, acting like he's a fan, and ends up attacking Rollins, and Rollins ends up escaping back towards the locker room, which led to Triple H and Stephanie. But did you enjoy the opening segment of Rollins, Cena, and Ambrose?
Yes, I did. I loved that part in the crowd where he's just like he hits the guy on the chest, like yeah, that was I got away from him, and then boom, it's Ambrose, which was just classic. I think I even tweeted out like a classic moment right there. I mean, I just loved how they did that. It was a perfect, and everyone wants to see Ambrose and Rollins more than they want to see Cena and Rollins. But
Done.
oh, I mean, because you stretch it out even longer. I mean, that's really tough. I mean, it's tough to say how they're going to go about this.
But we'll get to that in a little bit later. Triple H says that both of them want a piece of Seth Rollins. Triple H then says that Dean and Cena will face Rollins, Kane, and Randy Orton later on tonight. So that's basically the announced main event for Raw tonight, which was Ambrose and Cena, Rollins, Kane, and Randy Orton. Also tonight, they said that we will have Rusev and Lana will respond to Big Show's apology from SmackDown. He was inactive tonight, which I guess he was punished for what he did to the flag, supposedly. So,
When have they ever used that word inactive?
yeah, that's
Monday
different.
Night Football thing or something? I mean, come on.
Uh, then they announced the first match of the night, which we got Goldust and Stardust taking on. I mean, sorry, Goldust, Stardust, and Cesaro taking on Dolph Ziggler and the Usos. I thought this match was really good.
I mean, I'm sure it was, but it just seems like it was so long ago, I barely remember it. You
What
know?
happens when Raw is 3 hours?
I know, but I'm just saying, when you have a match that starts off the show and it's a really good match, you almost forget about it.
I don't.
It's
I
like, oh
would.
yeah, I guess.
That's going a little far fetched right there. Because there's a lot of times when we have done reviews on here, and we have said the first match of the night was better.
Yeah, I agree. But then when you get to the 3 hours, through that 3 hour show towards the end, you're like, oh yeah, that forgot about that match because it was good, but I forgot it was on this. Please, you forget about it. Could you sit through? A lot of times lately, it's been one good match, 2 hours after a good match. You have to wait before you get anything else that's really worth watching.
I mean, I'll admit, Raw. I mean, I'm sure we both can agree that Raw is long, and it shouldn't be 3 hours. It probably should be two. And also that. Oh, that's a big old buzzing sound coming your end. Also, yes, sometimes the first match of the night can always be forgotten because of Raw being so long. Yes, lately Raw hasn't been the greatest. Yes, sometimes it's even boring. I can admit that too. But I thought tonight's match was really good. I mean, Dolph Ziggler shined. The crowd was very, very over with Dolph. They had Um, they had chants for Ziggler. I mean, tonight I thought was Ziggler's moment, but it seems like in Brooklyn he's very, very over. And I thought the match was good. The Usos and Dolph Ziggler get the win. They did a little bit of triple.
Yeah, what do we expect though from these 6 guys? Always put on good matches.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to say yes, I mean, we've been getting a lot of 6-man tag matches a lot lately. I'll agree with that. I mean, if you could say it's the repetitive guys being in the same matches, yeah, I can agree with that as well. But I thought the match was good.
Yeah, it was a good match. I'm not gonna say it was bad, but I mean, it just seems like I'm sure on SmackDown. Oh, maybe not this week, but normal SmackDowns we would get the same thing. It'd be like the Brock Lesnar T-shirt. 6-man tag match, repeat. Repeat. It's just like, oh. But this week should be really good SmackDown, so.
Yeah, SmackDown this week should be good. But yeah, Dolph Ziggler and Usos get the win. It looks like we're going to be continuing the feud with the Usos, Stardust, and Goldust. And it looks like Cesaro is going to be the man challenging Ziggler, looks like.
Sorry, guys. Ziggler's about to lose that title.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a prediction from Dave. Okay. Next, we had probably the worst WWE segment ever in history with Kathy Lee and Hoda coming out with Adam Rose.
I heard about this weekend going to happen. I thought maybe, okay, they're going to be on Raw. Okay, maybe they'll just do some stuff backstage with a couple of guys, and that's it. I didn't know we were going to get this crap. Wow.
I mean, I don't even remember the segment, so I can't really say too much about it. I just know that it was shit, and that they didn't even really support what they were there for. They more
I know they mentioned it, and then they're like
wine or some shit like that. I mean, then they ended up hitting each other their asses with. It was just pointless, awful. It shouldn't have been on Raw. It shouldn't even be on Raw. It should never ever be on Raw. Later on the night, they did have another Susan Coleman segment. We'll get to it later, which I thought was nice. I mean, if you want to have it like that, yes, but don't have these two dumb. I don't want to, dumb women that do some talk show in the middle of the day that no one cares about. I wouldn't even say they guest hosted. I mean, they were guests on, and it was stupid. No wonder Adam Rose was with them.
I'm sorry, but this had NBC high executives like saying, "Okay, we want to put these two on Raw to help. We'll put Cena on their show, and we'll have them come on." I mean, it was like, are they gonna we start having guests come down too now, or what's going on?
I mean, it was awful. We won't even get too much into it. Later on, we saw another video package for Luke Harper. Pretty much the same one that they showed last week. Pretty much Bray Wyatt releasing him to everybody, to us, that it's time for Luke Harper to leave. And we got the second match of the night, which was Bo Dallas and Mark Henry. And the reason why I like this feud is because it's a mid-card feud that makes sense. Bo Dallas makes fun of him. He wants to beat him, and he can't beat him. And it's going to turn Mark Henry heel. You can just tell.
I mean, it's just been this, 4 or 5 matches? Or has it been 4 or 5 matches they've had already? At least 3 they've had in a week.
They have had 3 matches the last consecutive weeks. No, they haven't been the greatest. Looks like Bo Dallas is becoming. It looked like he was becoming a face at first, but then they announced later on tonight that our main event tomorrow night will be Bo Dallas versus Dolph Ziggler because Bo Dallas beat Mark Henry like him tonight in a countout, basically because Mark Henry is done. I'm sorry.
Is it a title match?
It is a title match.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, so, could Bo Dallas pull off the upset? I really doubt it.
Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
But Bo Dallas picks up the win. He's on a little winning streak right now, and it seems like they might be giving him a mini push. I think
what's probably going to happen, Mark Henry's probably going to come down and cost him the That's what probably will happen.
I wouldn't doubt it. Good prediction. I like it. Next, we are showing a replay of the opening segment. Dean Ambrose now makes his way to the ring. He gets on the mic and says that Cena has been up in his space and that he doesn't like it. Dean then shows what happened to on SmackDown, which Cena didn't really abandon him. He left the match to chase after Seth Rollins, which then led to Ambrose getting kind of beat up, right? I saw the match, but I can't remember everything.
Well, Ambrose went to tag him, and then Cena seen Rollins, and he took off. And it's like, what? You know, it was like that. And then Cena just went through this whole thing, well, let's be together. Let's be against the authority. And then he's the one who takes off and leaves.
Yeah. He said that he told Cena that he shouldn't give him a reason to not like Cena. He then ends up calling out Cena because he says he wants to hash it out. Cena says that everyone understands Ambrose's action, which means that he should understand his. He then tries to leave, but Ambrose says that he is right. He says he doesn't care about Cena, and that he has no problem coexisting tonight, but that he doesn't have any problem dropping him right where he stands. Cena then says the same thing to Ambrose, telling him to not give him a reason to not like him, and that he has no problem dropping Dean. Dean says that he is feeling hungry and that he's going to go get a hot dog, and then wishes Cena luck later on tonight and walks out.
That was pretty good. I mean, I enjoy Ambrose. I mean, he basically, was it last year? Basically, Daniel Bryan was last year. He's becoming that superstar. Like, I believe it was around last year. Daniel Bryan started to get really.
Couldn't really.
I don't know. I could be
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I said I think Ambrose is kind of becoming what Daniel Bryan was last year.
So Dean Ambrose is the Daniel Bryan of this year, then. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not trying to compare him, but I guess I am. But I mean, it just seems kind of like he's hot right now. Like,
he is really hot. Like, he's steaming hot right now. Dean Ambrose is steaming hot. I think it would be very interesting to see him and Dean Ambrose like in a ring together and see how the crowd would react.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I wonder.
I like Bryan and Rollins in a match. I would love to see that.
Yeah. We returned to footage of Dean Ambrose getting on a subway, which I thought was pretty cool. We then go back to stage, which Triple H puts down Ambrose. Triple H is confronting Cena. Triple H puts down Ambrose, saying he's wasting an opportunity. Triple H then says until start the match. It was pretty much, I don't know, it was classic Triple H trolling Cena.
Yeah, I like how he did that. The champ is here.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Triple H is pretty good in his role, and Triple H has been really, really good lately. Ever since WrestleMania, I think Triple H has been pretty good on Raw. Next, we had another stupid segment, which was Brie Bella versus Summer Rae. Brie had to have her hand tied behind her back, and she still ends up beating Summer Rae.
She acts like Cena of the Divas division. I mean, geez, she's
Cena. Yeah, right. I mean, this is gonna obviously end up to where Nikki Bella is gonna be fed up that nobody can beat her, and that she's gonna try to face her herself.
Yeah,
that's what it's gonna set up to be.
I hope it isn't for the Bella name, which would be stupid. But if that's what it's gonna come down to for Hell in a Cell, I guess. And what will happen? They're making Brie Bella look so powerful and so unstoppable, honestly, right now that no one really is gonna believe that Nikki can beat her. And then when she does, that'll make her even bigger. Because that's the only way you could really go with that, is having Nikki win that match.
No, you think so?
What would be the point of all this, to have Nikki turn heel just to lose to her sister at Hell in a Cell? I mean, that'd really kill everything she has going. Because if this is the way they're going and Brie win, Brie, like, you're basically going to be grooming her to be the next top diva.
Right. All right. Well, let's move on to the next match. Oh, we'll go backstage with Miz and Sandel. He tries to apologize to Kane, and Kane's not buying it. He basically gives Kane a fruit basket, and Kane um, does not like fruit baskets and says that he will put Miz in a match with Sheamus later on tonight.
And Sandow or Mizdow was great. I mean, that segment was awesome.
Yeah, Mizdow mocking him, saying, "Ugh, Sandow is just great right now."
And they're even acknowledging it from the commentators aspect. We'll get into it more later on, but that they've actually acknowledged that Mizdow is becoming more popular than the Miz is. So a lot of times they will mention that.
Yeah. Next, we got Tyson Kidd versus Jack Swagger. I'm really liking that Tyson Kidd's on Raw more. Really liking it. Swagger ends up picking up the victory. Looked like Tyson Kidd wanted Natty to help him somehow, but she didn't want to. It looked like because I know they're fighting on NXT and they're trying to not on Total Divas. They're arguing or whatever. Yeah, it was a decent match. Could have been a lot better, in my opinion, if they would have given these two guys more time. Any thoughts, Dave?
I mean, I didn't really catch the whole match. I seen where that he lost, but I do like how they're going, putting Tyson Kidd's actually getting a push. I do like that.
Yeah. Next, we had Edge and Christian come on the screen as they will be having a special on the WWE Network, which is probably airing right now as we speak. Right after Raw, where they will highlight the 15 years of SmackDown.
I think it's about them more than SmackDown, isn't it? It's like a special devoted to them, I believe. I thought it was. That's what I took from it.
I think they're going to be showing highlights of different SmackDowns throughout the years. But what I think makes it special is that it's them two doing it.
Oh, okay. When I seen it said Edge and Christian special, I thought it was about actually Edge and Christian. My bad. Okay.
I get you. It's confusing. Next, we had the return of the most hyped this was. They hyped this shit up like this was going to be some kind of epic interview. And Roman Reigns ended up saying 3 lines.
Yeah, we ended up actually agreeing on this.
That he says that he's feeling better, but he still needs some more time. However, he says that he will be back sooner rather than later. That was it.
How an update? I mean, I don't understand. That was such a fake interview because he just said Michael Cole said one line and then Roman Reigns started talking the rest. He didn't say anything that, yeah, I'll be back in a few weeks or a month, or he just said nothing. I mean, so that leaves you to think that they're going to bring him back as a surprise, or he might be out until the Rumble.
I'm thinking Rumble. I mean, you might as well save him for the Rumble. If he's going to go to WrestleMania to main event, then you have to have him win at the Royal Rumble.
I just don't agree with that, but okay.
I mean, I don't want him to win it either. But, I mean, he's not ready yet, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not one of those fans who are behind Roman Reigns to be champion at WrestleMania or even right now. I mean, I'm no fan.
But anyway, let's digress to something else more dumber, which is El Torito versus Mini Gator. I don't really want to talk about that match. Anyways, we go back to where they didn't announce Bo Dallas versus Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship on main event tomorrow night. So check that out if you have the network. I think that might be a good match if they give them the right amount of time. Then we come to the surprise of the night, which was crazy. Rusev and Lana make their way to the ring. Lana says that today is a great day. She says that it's Putin's birthday. She then says that everyone needs to get on their feet and respect Rusev. She says there will be no match tonight because Big Show desecrated the Russian flag. She says everyone who supported him committed a hate crime. She then gives the mic to Rusev, which Rusev says that America is no superpower. Rusev then says that Big Show is afraid of him and then calls him out. He then calls the Big Show a coward, and out comes Rock, of all people.
Yeah, I mean, the shocker on the world. I mean, Twitter was actually silent for about 10 to 15 minutes because everyone was watching The Rock.
Yeah, just to cut a long story short, because I cannot do a promo like The Rock, nor will I try. He basically says that he understands why no one has beaten him. He says he is bigger and stronger than almost everyone. He also says that people are not booing them because they are Russian, but because they are just a couple of international assholes. He then takes off. Rusev then takes off his medal, ready to fight. Rocket and Rusev then go at it, and Rusev gets knocked out of the ring, and Rock stands tall, asking for Rusev to bring it.
Are they hinting at something, or you think it was just, hey, The Rock was in town, you want to come to this thing?
I really wish and hope that it would be leading up to something, but I don't think it will.
I mean, because like we were talking last week, or even on Twitter, not really, on Twitter this past weekend about how Brock's not gonna base. We don't know for sure, but the rumors are that Brock will not be at Hell in a Cell. We haven't heard no title match mentioned at all. And if that's the case, I mean, could they possibly have The Rock? Which it probably isn't. It's just us speculating, but Rock versus Rusev at Hell in a Cell would actually, or he probably wouldn't wrestle at Hell in a Cell, to be honest. It'd be like a Survivor Series if he did.
The Rock appearing tonight probably was a one-time thing that we won't see for a while again. I really hope they do bring it up again when he comes back, because a Rusev Rock match intrigues me. And I think with Lana on the mic and The Rock on the mic, and with Rusev just saying a few words here and there, I think it would be a really good storyline.
Wouldn't that fill the void of no champion for the next 3 months if The Rock is there?
The Rock hasn't been training to wrestle. I mean, he needs time. He can't wrestle. And I mean, 3 weeks is not enough time for him. Also, they're not going to waste The Rock on a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. You know that.
Yeah. I mean, unless they maybe want to do something with Survivor Series with him. I mean, and we don't know if he hasn't been training, honestly, on the road or something like that. Because back before, when he was getting ready to wrestle Cena, he had McGillicuddy or Haney, whatever you want to call him, on the road with him training as he's on the road. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
they're not going to waste The Rock. But how much they have to pay him, I don't know, Hell in a Cell. I really don't think they would do that. That match, if it does happen at all, will be at either WrestleMania or like a Royal Rumble or like a Survivor Series, like you said. One of their top 4 pay-per-views.
I would like to see something bigger than Rusev with The Rock, though. I'm not saying Rusev isn't big, but I would like to see something big, like a Bray Wyatt versus The Rock, or something bigger as a bigger star who you know is going to be a superstar. You don't really know for sure if Rusev is going to be a superstar. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Rusev works for me because he's super heel right now.
But you don't know if he can sustain and last as a star. Like, you know Bray Wyatt can be great on his own, but he can talk and he can wrestle. You don't know how, if Lana wasn't with Rusev, would he be as over as...
Probably not, but that's what Lana's there for. Lana is his microphone. Like, Paul Heyman is Brock
He can stand on his own. You know, because eventually they would have to break the team up eventually. They can't keep them together forever.
I think they're good. Yeah, sure they can. They're managers. Sure they can. Who else is going to manage? Like, honestly. Another Russian?
Or she becomes like every other diva manager, becomes a wrestler.
She's not a wrestler. She's a manager.
I know, but I'm just saying, how long will this last? I mean, usually they do something to see, can he be a good guy and a bad guy? Would he be a better... They usually test both sides of...
Rusev reminds me too much of the great Umaga. And I think he's perfect right now. But regardless...
He started with the manager, but then he went on his own as well. And he lasted as a heel on his own.
And I think Rusev can too.
I mean, I hope he can, but I mean, we'll see. These big feuds with like Umaga versus Triple H feud. I mean, it kind of separated Umaga a little bit because he became good, but he couldn't really. They didn't really give him a big push enough like they should have. But it's neither here nor there. But I'm just saying that for Rusev, that could he last and be successful? Would they put him in the right spots? With so many lesser spots right now and titles that basically are going to be all gone.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. But I guess we got to just find out. Next, we had Alicia Fox and Paige take on AJ Lee and Emma, which found AJ Lee leaving during the match, leaving Emma by herself, losing to Alicia Fox and Paige. I'm not sure what that was all about.
They're trying to make it like it seems like where AJ's the bad guy, but she's not. Where she doesn't have no friends and she don't want no friends.
Maybe that way, yeah, maybe, or maybe she was like she's just like, Emma, can't take Emma seriously, maybe as a tag team partner.
I mean, they did this thing on Twitter where they're like, "Can you find a partner?" And they said she don't want a partner. And I don't understand why they're doing it like this. Are they gonna basically make where every diva just hates AJ?
Like she's the outcast, like I guess I don't know, but I guess it was an okay match. Paige and Fox win. Nothing really much more to talk about. Next, we got Eric Rowan getting his own video package. Looks like he's going to be released to the world, and we got They're Coming or
He's Coming.
So it looks like. I don't know if it's.
I'm sorry. I think it said on that girl's pregnant stomach or whatever it looked like. I'm not sure. It was really creepy.
I think they
said he's coming soon or something like that.
Coming soon or something like that.
Oh, did it say they're coming?
I don't know. Coming soon or something. Looks like we're going to see new Wyatt members.
Oh, man, it did.
Could it be the Ascension?
Oh, I took that as. Oh, I guess. I mean. But I thought it meant for Eric Rowan is coming soon.
I thought maybe
it was his little thing.
I think the baby on the stomach, I think maybe means that we're gonna get new family members. Maybe. Wouldn't the Ascension work though?
Bray Wyatt go on his own and just do his own thing.
He may.
Yeah. I mean, no, but if you're right, which I thought that was all part of Eric Rowan's thing, but you're saying now that you're gonna add new members, and I was like,
I could be wrong. I mean, I'm probably 100% wrong, but if they're gonna bring
the be a way to bring them in, I guess the Ascension. But I mean, I would just much rather see Bray Wyatt on his own doing his own thing.
Yeah,
where he doesn't need new family members or. I mean, do they put them as a tag team? I'm talking about Harper and Rowan. Or do they have them be singles wrestlers on their own?
They like they're going to be single wrestlers.
I thought they would make a great tag team on their own. Away from Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Next, we had The Miz versus Sheamus. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. What'd you say?
I was saying I would think something would happen this week on SmackDown with the premiere of SmackDown.
Maybe. I guess we gotta watch and see. Next, we had the Miz versus Sheamus, which was an okay match. Again, Damian Sandow shined again. We haven't had Sandow chants.
Yeah. I mean, the whole Rock thing happened. It basically is what we didn't really talk about this. But it's what we needed, because let's be honest, everyone was sitting there, man, this is a boring Raw. This is boring. And then all of a sudden, Rock comes out and just lights up the place. And even the crowd chants were holy shit chants during the. And it's like, oh, crap. We haven't heard those on a Raw, and that's what makes great live TV. I mean, and through this part, too, the crowd was actually alive after that. I mean. Because Sandow and Mizdow still might have got cheered, but they were even more on fire. They almost wish The Rock would have started the show.
Right. Well, it was something else. Miz gets the win over Sheamus, and I mean it's gonna probably continue their feud. Looks like
It's
Miz.
kind of switched. It seems like they switched. Ziggler and Sheamus just switched opponents now. I mean, that's kind of odd. I've never seen that happen that quickly like that.
Yeah,
We're all of a sudden you're feuding with the Miz now, and now you're feuding with Cesaro.
right. It was different. That's for sure. Um,
I mean, Sandow or Mizdow was great on these things where he's outside the ring mimicking the moves the Miz is doing, which is just great.
yeah, that was great, man. I mean,
I was really hoping the Miz was gonna lose, and we were gonna see Miz get bro kicked, and then Sandow just gonna be laying out there on the ground or something.
yeah, that would have been great. But Miz gets the win, probably continues the feud. And we go on to the main event of Raw, which was Cena taking on Randy Orton, Rollins, and Kane.
But you also had that little breast cancer. I think she was a survivor or whatever. Talk right before this for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
I
not
mean,
much really to say about that, but if you can donate.
Doing it so late in the night like that, why couldn't they have just waited till Raw went off the air and then do that?
Because they want the money for the charity. Millions of people are
I
watching.
get it. I mean, they'll still get the money for the charity, but they've done 2 segments. I'm not saying nothing bad about it. It's a great thing they're doing, but to do it like in the middle of the show or towards the end of the show, right before people were expecting like a match in wrestling, and then you want to kind of Debbie Downer the show a little bit.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I think they figured that more people are going to watch the main event because Cena's involved, so they can throw that in there. I mean, that's
that woman talked more than the main event lasted, though.
that is true. Very true. Let's get to that main event, which was Kane and Orton and Rollins taking on Cena. It ended up being a disqualification. John Cena ends up getting attacked by all three, which led to Dean Ambrose coming back down for the rescue with a hot dog stand of all things. Ends up squirting Randy Orton and Kane with ketchup and mustard. Goes into the ring and attacks all three of them. Attacks Rollins. Rollins ends up getting away, and which led to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon to come out to the ring. They said that both Ambrose and Cena want to get their hands on Rollins. So at Hell in a Cell, we're going to get Ambrose and John Cena going one-on-one with the winner of the match going on to take on Rollins in a Hell in a Cell match. I think, rumors were going around that this was going to happen. Looks like we're not going to see a world title match on the pay-per-view. Probably could add more fuel to the fire to Paul Heyman's promo when he comes back, whenever that is. But anyways, let's hear your thoughts on the main event and the matches that are announced.
The main event was kind of a letdown. I mean, but what could they really done with it? I mean, they could have made it. I'm just so sick of these 6-man or handicap matches. I mean, come on. A lot of people are getting frustrated just seeing Kane in every match now. It seems like, is he the only wrestler you can push as Kane?
Right.
Like, but I mean, then announcing like that, which we talked about it either on Twitter or on the video, I don't remember, but about possibly instead of doing it on Raw, what if they did it on? We talked about before we heard it being announced that what if they did Ambrose and Cena on a pay-per-view, and then later that night the winner faces them in the Hell in a Cell. So I mean that's good. I mean we like that idea. I mean it works for the pay-per-view because it would probably be the first match on the pay-per-view you would think, but then later on that night. And another rumor going around, the loser will face Randy Orton. I don't know if that's going to happen or what. That's a rumor going around too. I mean, we want to see it. I mean, they needed to do something because they're not going to have a title match, so they're going to need to do something with it. We had to do something to make up for it.
And I think the anticipation and everything like that for a possible Rollins and Ambrose Hell in a Cell is going to be great.
Yeah, but what happens if Cena ends up winning? Will that make a lot of other people mad?
I think, yeah, I mean, I don't see Cena winning. I just don't. I hope not.
I mean, because he's their big cash cow. I mean, Cena and Rollins in a Hell in a Cell, but more of the hardcore Rollins and Ambrose fans would love to see Ambrose versus Rollins, like I would. But it comes back to like John Cena and Rollins. I mean, you just look at that and it's like, man, would they really do that?
I think they could probably maybe use Hell in a Cell as a night off for Cena. Have the match first, have him lose, and then have him off the rest of the night. You know.
So they would have Cena lose cleanly to Ambrose without any, and then, I mean, what's that really do to him a little bit though for wanting a title match again against Brock? You just lost to Ambrose. Why should we give you a title shot? Which, if the title's not defended until January, which is a rumor, but I guess it won't really matter. But I mean, really, what else will they do? Or, I mean, unless they feud Orton and Cena again, where Orton ends up costing them the match, and then we have an Orton-Cena feud for the next couple months.
I don't know. It could go either way. I guess we'll find out more and get more into it on our prediction show whenever that will be in about 2 or 3 weeks. So that's going to end up pretty much wrapping up our WWE Raw review. Decent, okay Raw. I think Rock saved the show. Ambrose, did as well. This Friday, we are going to pretty much try to do a WWE SmackDown review since it will be the SmackDown 15 episode. So I'm assuming that it's going to be a pretty good episode. So look for that this coming Friday at about 10.
Raw was bad tonight.
I'm sorry?
Maybe that's why Raw was really so bad tonight, because they got some really great matches coming up for tomorrow night, or for Friday night.
Yeah, maybe. Good point. So look for that video to be maybe 10 Eastern, maybe 11 Eastern, depending on if everybody's still available Friday night and able to watch the show at the exact same time. So other than that, there will be a SmackDown 15 review this Friday. Also, we will be coming Wednesday as well with a TNA Impact review, which we will see the final series between the Dudleys, the Wolves, and the Hardys in a what's it called? Mayhem match.
Mayhem, yeah.
AKA TLC match.
Yeah, it's basically TLC. They just can't say TLC.
So you got that to look forward to. Also, I think Bobby Roode's supposed to call out Bobby Lashley again or something. I don't know.
But they have to have any other match on that show, honestly. I mean, you just need that pretty much, and that's it.
Yeah. So look forward to that. We'll be back on there about 11:30 Eastern. So hopefully everybody can join us then. We thank everybody for our views on our TNA video from last week. We didn't think we were going to hit as many views as we did, seeing that TNA Impact wasn't the greatest. And we actually really did good. So we really appreciate that. And
it wasn't bad, but yeah.
You know what I mean. No, nothing huge happened. So we thank everybody that. We thank everybody for the subscriptions. And I say about probably in a month, we've gained a good 12 subscribers. And I really, really appreciate that. We're up to 38 when we were like up to like 20 when we first started. So doing these videos every week. So we really do appreciate that. And anything else, Dave, you would like to add before we are back Wednesday night?
Yeah, I mean, follow, subscribe. I mean, we got some good stuff coming up this week. I mean, I think they're actually, I don't know if they said it tonight on Raw, but I think they're actually going to be adding and showing some old and releasing older episodes of SmackDown on the network this week too. So I mean, probably going to start. I assume like they did with Raw, the Raw Attitude Week, that they would release some more episodes. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, it should be a really fun week this week.
Yeah, so I thank everybody for watching. Check back with us on Wednesday at about 11:30 Eastern for a TNA Impact review. And we thank everybody for watching tonight. We had a good, solid 3 to 4 viewers. With all these WWE Raw reviews right after Raw, we really do appreciate anybody coming in and watching our show. We appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you guys Wednesday night.